I guess no intro today. Well, welcome to another day. This just in, I look stupid for the first 5 seconds of this, but that's okay, because we are back discussing all things NXT after the Great American Bash, the fallout of Great American Bash, where we had quite a few fantastic matches and maybe one or two that were like not our favorites. And we had quite a few people retain their belts and only one lost her belt, which breaks my heart. But hey, she might get called up. Now, it is time to talk to the people.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. So, as for that whole thing, I don't know what happened why our intro did not play, so I had to play it manually to make sure, but yeah, I don't know. I might have to do that with the outro, too. We'll see what happens there, but fortunately, I'll make sure that runs. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe because we didn't go live on time, or maybe it's because I didn't set it up right, but I thought I set it up right earlier. So, I don't know, but we are here, thank God. No matter what, we are live, we are working. I hope we're live. I don't know. We'll see. But
We
it
are.
says live.
We're
So,
here. We're here. We're not queer, fully. But Pride Month is over, as well as Men's Mental Health Awareness and
actually, it's still
PTSD
today,
as
I
well.
believe. Believe still Pride Month as of tonight
It's
until going
technically
into
it's the last
tomorrow.
day of Pride Month, so
Right,
the Pride
right,
should
right.
happen
That's
all
what
year
I'm
long.
saying. Today
Anyways,
is still Pride Month. Yes. I get
tis
it. I
I,
didn't get there.
Sabrina Estella, along with my cohorts, Matt's Mad Dog Kelly, who will keep that middle name for now unless he says or does something that makes me irritated and I have to give him 1 to 5 new ones in one night.
Well, I mean, besides Sami Zayn is a bum,
Who is now a
as you
Grand
can
Slam champion.
see, I'm still supporting our greatest undisputed champion of all time, Cody Rhodes, by the way. Yeah. This was what was this, the 2023 or 2024 t-shirt? I don't remember. Remember, he won it back to back. I think I have both t-shirts. I don't remember, honestly. But he won it both. Cody Rhodes won the Royal Rumble twice in a row, by the way. But yes, very upset about Cody. And I hope they do something with him. That doesn't involve the belts because I think it's just a little silly now. He did the story. It's time for him to do something else now. Finally, he doesn't need the belt. It's proven. But Sammy's a bum. That I will say. And NXT was great tonight.
Well, tell me how you feel about Sami Zayn without telling me how you feel about Sami Zayn, who is now officially a Grand Slam champion. And yes, I was watching Night of Champions and I wasn't
Second
expecting to win,
disgrace.
but
Second disgrace.
congrats to him. Wasn't my pick.
Yeah.
Was Gunther my pick? Absolutely not. Of course,
Bearded
I was
bum.
thinking, oh, Cody's
Yes.
going to retain. But,
Remember,
anyways,
wrestling.
that's not
He
what we're
used
here
to
to
be
talk
my former hero. Before we go into the show, he used to be my former hero before he started crying and whining and bitching and being this new Sami Zayn. No. Absolutely not. That is
about.
not my hero.
So, during the pandemic era?
Yes. Even before that, he was, even before that, even after that, when he won with Kevin Owens. Remember that? It's the Usos, one of the greatest matches WWE's ever presented at WrestleMania history 39. One of my favorites. That's Sami Zayn. Yes. Not this new crybaby Zayn, as I call him. But anyway, yeah, NXT was great. My goodness. I saw American Bash this morning because I was at Godsmack. every card, every match except for maybe one. I did not like one match. There were one match I did not like. And I don't know if you're gonna guess the match, and maybe this is your thoughts on it, but the match between who was it? It was Dion something and
Dion and Shaquan.
that's it. Yes, yes. That was boring. But everything else is pretty good. Yeah.
Well, you know me, I didn't care for that
Except for
match
Dana
to
Brooks,
happen,
though.
so.
She got really hurt on Sunday, and now she's fighting tonight, and it looks like she's really, really hurt. So, yeah.
Well, like I said, I didn't care for that match, so I have no opinion on it.
Okay, great.
The
Go ahead.
highlight for me of that Great American Bash actually was what Tatum Paxley had on, which she's definitely
Mm,
showing how much of a weeb that she is, because what she was wearing, let me see if I can, is a reference to a gambling anime called
okay.
Kakeguri, which is a school,
Okay.
which is about a school, uh,
Mm,
a private academy that where kids go to become better at gambling. And the main character is one that
style.
gambles, but she gambles for the thrill of it, whether she wins or loses. And they make all kinds of crazy faces when they do it. So when people see it, they're like, why are they making these faces over that? But this is what she was
Oh, wow.
referencing.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. I did not know that. Um,
That's what I'm
that's
here
really
for.
cool that it was an anime. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. But, um, that I didn't know that. Well, as for the other matches, there was another match I was really upset about, but I'm really happy for the new champion. But
Lola versus Kendall.
Lola Vice lost. I was
But she might
surprised.
get called up. And with the way
I
WWE is with
heard.
couples,
But will
she
she
could be
get
going to
lost in the
SmackDown where her
shuffle
man
though?
is.
That's the
Hey,
thing, wrestling. Will she
she could go
get
for the US
lost
belt.
in the shuffle?
She could go for the US belt, not right now, but she could go for the US belt in the future.
Mm.
She could do some stuff on main
Okay.
events in the
Okay.
meantime to get her kicks in so people can get familiar with her work up there, because she is one
Okay.
of the few
Okay.
NXT girls that they did not always bring up there all the time. So it's not like, oh, we have somebody who's coming in and it's someone who has been on Raw or SmackDown God knows how many times before they're officially signed.
That actually happened with JC James. Fun fact, multiple times before the Fatal Influence got called up to SmackDown. That is true
So,
story.
anyways, we had a recap of Great American Bash to start off NXT today. So we have our new NXT Women's Champion, Kendal Grey, walking with Ren Sinclair. Ren tells her, I'm going to hang back and let you have your moment. Showing that, basically telling those who said, like, oh, titles are going to ruin your friendship. Y'all are going to be fighting over these titles and blah, blah, blah. Basically saying to all of y'all, shut up. Y'all were wrong. We proved that we could still be friends and respect each other and not try to bring each other down just because of some titles. So Kendall gets in the ring. Vic welcomes Booker T back, which thank the Lord, because if I had to see Wade Barrett or Corey Girls on my TV again, I swear to the Lord Almighty up in the sky, I would have lost it. Because everybody who has been watching the program for a while, or those who may be new and don't know, I can't stand either of them because they say stuff that 99.9% of the time I don't agree with. And there's only a
Actually, once again, I said
0.1% time that I do.
97 before the show. I said it's more like 97. There's like a 3% chance that they're actually right.
For you, not me. Anyways, Kendall's on the mic,
Yeah.
and she says she's more nervous coming out here and talking than she was wrestling in the main event on Sunday. Talking isn't something she's good at, that she would be the girl hiding under her desk rather than getting called on to read in class to bear with her. Ever since John Cena picked her to be in the Iron Survivor series, her life has been crazy and full of opportunities that she didn't think she was ready for. Expectations put pressure on her, but no one puts pressure on Kendal Grey like Kendal Grey, and it's been like that since she was a little girl. Before NXT, wasn't used to losing. was dominant in high school and college, and in Evolve, she ran through the division, but in NXT, dropped the ball every time and had to deal with the self-doubt and the voices in her head asking if she was ready, if she belonged, if she could hang. But on Sunday, got her answer, the title proves it, and you're damn right she is. She doesn't look like a normal champion, she knows. She doesn't have Lola's designer dresses or heels. She can't sit in a makeup chair for more than a few minutes. And she's not going to be comfortable dressing like a Barbie, and she'll be nervous as hell every time she cuts a promo. And she might not sound like a champion, but when the bell rings, she sure as hell going to wrestle like a champion. And her best friend comes in, carrying a celebration championship cake, aka Ren Sinclair, says Kendall had a vision. It came true. They both came out of Great American Bash as champions, so here it is. A two-layer cake for the two champions of the Ren QCC. And Kaylani comes in, scoffs at them for eating cake when Kendall finally won opportunity after opportunity, and of course is not asking, demanding a title shot and complaining about not being booked after being assaulted viciously by a lunatic for speaking her truth. Tatum Paxley, said lunatic apparently, jumps from the barricade, attacks Kaylani from behind, and brawls with her to the back as they shove bits of cake into their mouths, no forks needed. Which I thought was a sweet, cute little segment. Kind of felt like a high school movie where the girl that doesn't always want to be noticed but gets noticed for her talents and is expressing to everybody how she feels and everything. And of course, there's always going to be the mean girls trying to bring you down, but your best friends will always have your back. And even the weirdos that nobody talks to will have your back too.
Yeah, I'm very happy. I'm happy for Kendall Grey. I'm happy for Lola Vice getting possibly called up. I'm really excited to see what they do. Like I said earlier, I really do hope she doesn't get lost in the shuffle like some other people think she's going to, and then get fired by the company and then go to another company, obviously, but I don't think so. Hey, there he is, great grand slam Pooba himself. I hope Mr. Cat is doing well. I miss him. I miss seeing him on my screen. So I hope Mr. Cat and you are doing well. But anyway, like I was saying though, I'm very happy for Kendall and I'm happy for Ren, and this whole segment was great. I just don't understand the whole Tatum Paxley thing. It's like this new girl shows up. We'll get to it later. You know that. But this new girl shows up, and then it's like Kalani and Tate. So I don't know where they're going to go with that, especially if, Tatum's ankle really is injured. That's really gonna be a huge dent in their plans. But no, I like the segment. I thought it was really funny. That they were just shoving cake in their faces while all the chaos ensued. So it was good. It's good to see Kendall, and honestly, she fights like a champion, and honestly, her speech kind of talked like a champion. She kind of was those real down to earth champions that we don't see. I'm sure we're gonna see this fake spiel from Sami Zayn on Friday. It's gonna be complete garbage, but yeah, she was kind of down to earth about her title, and how she's going to defend it. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
As am I. It's not every day we see a champion like that now. A lot of the times
I
they're very
agree. I
dressed
agree. It's
up and
very
have
rare.
on
Very rare.
a lot of them will have on designer labels and high heels, and their faces will be completely caked in makeup and
Or
kind of
somebody
sound
will
beauty
always rock a
pageant-ish with the
scarf
way they
to
speak.
every match. He lost, by the way, on
Maybe.
Sunday. By the way, Scarf Man lost on Sunday. I saw it this morning as well. I got to watch
So
AEW
Keanu
video.
Carver has
Scarf
attacked
Man
El Hijo
lost.
de Vikingo and left them lying down there, which I saw an article online that there was some stuff happening before the show started with him and Eli Knight, and unfortunately, he got injured and they had to write him off.
Oh,
And
that's not good.
yes, so Robert Stone had to get the referee cord to basically separate them two. Meanwhile, Izzy Dane is staring at a monitor, moaning, groaning, bitching, whining, complaining, saying, "Oh, woe is me. The world is not going from my way. I'm not getting what I want. If things had worked out, I would have had all three belts right now."
She's not wrong. She's not wrong.
Well, guess what? She's not championship material either. She's boring as hell. She's literally like if you were to try to make a Charlotte Flair create a wrestler on WWE 2K, and it just came out generic. Her promos
Yeah,
do
but
not
she's got the
entertain me.
look of a champion. I'll tell you that. She might not have,
Again,
the whole,
that's
thing,
why
but
I
she's
said
got the look.
create a wrestler look-alike. She looks like a character you make on Create a Wrestler, but can't make a promo worth a damn. Why do you think they had it with Shawn Spears for so long? Because the man can talk.
It's kind of crazy because she's actually in the game as like an 80, by the way. I think that's her rank. I could be wrong. Like her
So,
rating.
anyways,
Yeah,
after
it's
that,
pretty high.
Zarya comes in to gloat about beating Tatum and picks the scab of the culling, kicking Shawn Spears out, basically saying, "Look at you two! Look at you! You decided to kick out the man that brought you together." And Izzy says they're stronger than ever. And you hear noises from the locker room, and you see Izzy opening the door to see Lizzie Rain rocking out to a guitar solo. And Lizzie says, "I'm having a rave," and Zarya and Izzy just roll their eyes and they walk away.
This was funny. It's funny. At first I said this on the show when I guest hosted, and even I didn't care for Lizzie Rain, but now she's starting to grow on me a little bit more. And honestly, if they book her like this, honestly, she might become one of my new favorites, like Mason Rook, the future of NXT, by the way, Mason Rook and Lizzie Rain. Yeah, for sure. And Zarya, I mean, she just, man, I just hope she just keeps just dominating the division, the North American division, women's division, because she could be such a powerhouse. If they do this right, she could be such a powerhouse to where they call her up to the main roster. She could be even more of a powerhouse. And, that'd be very exciting. Very exciting to see, for both. For Lizzie and for Zarya for mostly. But as for
Speaking of
Izzy
those that
Dane, though,
want,
I do feel bad for our girl because she has the look of the champion. She's not it though. That's the problem, and that's why she's been stuck in NXT. And honestly, I would say bring her down to Evolve, let her do something there because it's just nothing sticking for her in NXT. Like you said, the calling is boring, nothing's working for her. So honestly, I would say if I had the booking powers, I don't. I would say put her in Evolve, make her champion, and let her do something for once
well, we
because
can't do that
NXT
to
is just not
Izzy.
working.
Nikita just won the belt after being with NXT for over 1,500 days.
Oh yeah, that's right. I saw that. Good for her. Yeah. Did she have it tonight? She was
One
at ringside
thousand
with Natalia,
one
right?
thousand
Yeah.
534 days since Nikita Lyons has been part of the WWE NXT brand, who unfortunately has gotten injured multiple times, has finally won a title. Now, like I said before on the show, when I used to go to NXT frequently when I used to live in Orlando, I was there when Nikita debuted against Fallon
Okay.
before Fallon
Okay.
was
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
while Fallon was still a face and way before
Yeah. Mhm.
they had her be more of the cowgirl persona that we all knew. But speaking of those that
Oh,
want to be dominant in the women's division, Keilani
mhm,
Jordan
mhm.
comes up to Robert Stone, who is not too happy because he had to cancel the Latin American Championship match tonight. So he books Keilani in a match against Tatum, and she leaves. And he runs into Keanu Carver, who says he wouldn't have lost this match if he had given title matches to him instead of Eli. And Robert Stone returns in the favor by booking him in a match tonight against Eli, since he decided to quote unquote
Isn't
take
isn't
out.
it EK Prospect? Right. 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 I mean,
I'm not calling
maybe
him by
EK
that name.
Prospect.
At the number
Honestly, it's EK Prospector, but that's just me. That is my name. I call him. He's EK Prospector. So,
Matthew Timothy
yeah.
Kelly. I
Yeah.
refuse to call him by that name for a couple reasons.
Okay.
One, I met him in the Indies as Eli Knight, and that is the name I will continue to call him by. And number two, the name they gave him is stupid, and I refuse to call him that. So whether you like
Well,
it
I
or not,
mean,
I'm calling him by the name I know him as. So I'm not calling him by that
all
other name.
honesty, just make sure we don't get him confused with LA Knight. Okay, LA
Who's
Knight's
gonna
another
confuse him with
superstar.
LA Knight?
Who was
LA Knight,
also another Eli, by the way. It was Eli Drake or whatever his name was back in the day. I don't know.
that
I
was
don't know
his
what
name
LA
back
Knight's
in the
name is.
day.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
his name
See,
back in the day.
everybody's all connected. It's all.
Listen, it is not good. You cannot
Ah.
confuse a man in his 40s, 50s, up in the main roster with a young African American man in NXT who is in his 20s right now. And if you do mix them up, then you're dumb as rocks.
I
But
mean,
anyways,
they do have similar names. I'm not gonna lie. It's really
name does
hard.
not mean anything. Anyways, so we get El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. and Galeno
The greatest of all time, by the way. Can continue.
going up against the stupidest tag team of all time and Swipe Right of Brad Baylor and Ricky Smokes for the NXT Tag Team Championship belts.
That's that project guys, right?
The
frat
Vanity
boy
Project.
band. Yeah, the frat
The
boys. I call them the
fact
frat boys.
that these two blonde bozos defeated
Yes.
two of Lucha Libre's most respected wrestlers out there
Legends, actually, legends. They're legends. But yeah,
infuriates my soul
yeah,
because
I agree.
it subtly feels like white frat boy privilege. Like every frat
I
boy
mean,
that gets in trouble
yeah.
for doing some hazing type bullshit and all they get is a slap on the wrist, that's what that felt like. I felt
Uh,
disrespected watching this and
yeah,
seeing it.
yeah.
Do those two wrestle? Are they good wrestlers? Those two blonde idiots? They're okay. Do I like them? Not in a million years. And they can only win now because they have help from their big, strong woman friend in Micah.
Bailey Humphreys. I think that's her real name, by the way, from LFG. That's who that is. I know that because I used to watch
Not
LFG. So
anymore.
yay! But no, yeah, I don't care for the frat boy project, whatever the hell they're called. I don't care. I do like the
They're
main
the
one. I
Vanity
told you that
Project. I
last
call them
week.
the Frat Pack.
Yeah. I like the main one because I saw him wrestle once, and that's the only one I kind of like, and even he can get annoying at times. So yeah, what's his name? Drake Jackson or whatever his name is. I
Jackson
don't know. I
Drake. You
don't care.
literally mixed up the
That's it.
name.
That's it. I don't care wrestling though. That's the thing. I don't care. I don't care about these guys. They shouldn't have lost to freaking Lucha, like you said, Lucha Libre legends. Dr. Wagner Jr., I said it on the show
Well,
before. We have a
technically, they
commercial made.
should have
Is one
lost
of
to
the
those
greatest
Lucha
of
Libre
all
lessons.
time. Have you not
Well, I mean,
seen this guy's
technically,
matches?
with what you
I,
said,
I
the Frat Pack should have lost to the Lucha Libre legends. Because then we'd have
no.
new NXT Tag Team Champions. And those belts could have been defended
Yes.
both here and in Mexico.
Yes. It would have been smart booking, but no. Shawn Michaels has to do this stupid booking because he has to favor his favorite frat boys. Oh, yeah. Okay, great.
And speaking of those that won a title shot, we have OTM and Birthright yelling at Robert Stone backstage. He's like, one at a time, y'all. I can't hear y'all, which makes me feel like I'm back at work because I work with kids.
Right.
And Uriah Connors complains about Swipe Right not defending their titles enough, and they want a shot. OTM also wants a title shot. Bronco Nima says the AAA opportunities don't concern nobody, which, as some people saw, a few of the people from NXT went down to AAA and they teamed up to be El Perro de Mal,
Mm-hmm.
which
Right.
is Spanish for bad dogs, basically.
Hmm.
Sean Legacy comes in and he says he and his partner want a a title match as well, but Dorian Van Duh is nowhere to be found and OTM call him on it. Cutler, James, and Osiris roll up and say that the new Lean Mean Dark State want a title match too. They're all bickering. Robert Stone speaks up to get him to shut up for a little bit, says, I'm booking a four-way number one contenders match for next week. And they're all down for it, of course. Noam Dar and Romeo Moreno were also there, and Romeo complains about being left out, but Robert says they need to establish themselves as a tag team some more before they get given a title match. Which, he's not wrong.
Hmm. Right.
I would think, hey, show the people more of what you can do, your chemistry, how well you work with others, and you can get a match. I don't see that as a problem. Why not?
No, I agree. I think that should be how it ran. As for the other teams, they're established teams already. That's why they're doing the 4-way next week. So, if my money was on it, I would have to say Dark State or Timo Shield would win. But that's just me. So yeah, we'll see next week. But yeah.
Well,
Dark
you
State.
know me. I would pick either Legacy and
Hmm.
Venda or
Okay.
OTM.
Okay. They
Mason, I don't
all
care for
have
the
a
others.
chance, and it's going to be a very good match. Very good match. Excited to
Well,
cover it,
you
but
already know how I feel about birthright that I could care less.
I actually enjoy them. I told you this before, and
You're
that's
the
because of
only one who
TNA.
enjoys them. You're the
I
only
know,
one
isn't
who
that
enjoys
great?
birthright.
I mean,
Yeah,
look,
which means you can be the only.
it took me from not caring about Lexus King in AEW to actually care about Lexus King in WWE.
You mean back when he was Brian Pillman Jr., part of the Varsity Blondes?
Yeah, nobody knew him. Nobody cared about him. Now everybody cares about Birthright. They get cheered. They get booed. He's champion. Look what they're doing with this man. It's great.
Sorry, I
Yo,
was just trying to see how long it was going to take before you realize you're the only person in the world that's a fan of Birthright and you'll be the only one wearing their merch whenever you go to NXT. Anyways,
okay. That's
we
okay.
had we
I have
had
a shirt
Jackson
for
Drake.
everything, by the way. So there you go.
We had Jackson Drake going up against who you say is the future of NXT and Mason Rook.
This was
This
BS.
match,
God, this was
teeny bit
BS.
better,
This
a little
whole
more
thing was
entertaining.
BS. BS.
We had Cam
God, you
Hendricks video calling in the middle of the match and says he's about 61.5% clear and he'll be back soon. He called
yay.
Booker
Yes.
T in the middle of the match to
Why
say
not,
he's
right?
61% and a half healed. Who
Why
cares?
not? Why not?
In the middle of a match, really, sir? That is
What?
very disrespectful.
You know what it is? It's just more NXT chaos. Let's do it. No, let's run
You
it.
know what else is disrespectful? The fact that Swipe Right and the rest of the frat pack can only win now because of Micah. If she weren't there, they'd be losing
Bailey.
left
Her
and
name
right.
is Bailey Humphreys, but yeah, I'm not calling
They
her
call her
Mika. No, no,
Micah.
no, no, no. No. I'm calling her Bailey Humphreys. That's how. If you're gonna call the rest of them whatever, you're gonna call EK Prospector. Eli, whatever his name is. I'm calling Bailey Humphreys. Bailey Humphreys. That's how I know her. So there you go. Not this Mika BS. No. She's Bailey
So with
Humphreys. But
some help
yeah,
from her,
yeah.
he gets a Jackson Drake wins with the pinfall using the lung
Uh,
blower, which
ugh.
this match was alright. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. Of everybody in the Vanity Project, now I can tolerate Jackson Drake because Micah gave him a little bit of a nicer-ish personality for 2 seconds. Doesn't mean I like him. But after it's over,
Wow. I didn't think of it that way. I really didn't, to be honest with you. That's
but
interesting. I still don't
after
like them.
that's fine. After it's all over,
Okay.
Mason drops Brad Baylor with the lariats and puts smokes into bread, which was very satisfying.
It was.
Tate gives Eli a pep talk about his change match, but of course he's upset because he was getting ready to fight El Hijo del Vikingo, and now he's got to fight Keanu instead. Tate reminds him, he put you through a table a while back, and gets Eli all fired up to get ready for the match. Callie Armstrong is chatting with Robert Stone backstage. She asks what she got to do to get some opportunities around here, and I want next on Kendal Grey. Robert says, you can't do that. She says, why not? He says, the whole roster thinks they got a title shot. Actions speak louder than words. And what do you think she thought he meant by that?
I mean, in all honesty, have a match with somebody first. I mean,
Remember, this is Callie we're talking about. Full-fledged heel. What do you think she thought he meant? A, participate in a match for a fair opportunity like everybody else? Or B, do something that she did later in the show because she couldn't handle the fact that she didn't get a title opportunity right away?
I would say B. Did you know she's on LFG? I did not know this until I saw it the other night. I came home from
Now
Godsmack.
I
I
do.
turned it on. It was on, and she's on LFG. So once again, I told you this before the show. Half of them are in NXT, and the other half are fired. So I don't understand LFG wrestling, doll. But besides, that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. But yes, she was on LFG the other, and I was like, why is she there when she's on NXT? And I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm like, fine, I'll play along. But no, yeah, I like this. I like where this is going. And honestly, her and Kendall could be a good match. I could see it happening. Maybe a heat wave. I don't know. Yeah, wave
Kendall's
is
the
in
reason.
August, so
Callie is the reason why Kendall even became the second evolved champion because she defeated Callie for that belt.
so they have history, is what you're saying.
Yes.
They have history with
Yes.
each other. Yeah. So this would be a very good feud if they book it right. Interesting.
Yes. But anyways, we get Eli Knight versus Keanu Carver. And of course,
EK
Keanu
Prospector,
gets.
but yeah, go ahead.
I'm not calling him that.
EK Prospector. Prospector, yeah.
Keanu gets control early into the match, throwing Eli into the turnbuckle, getting him with some punches, throwing him up, slamming him down. But Eli reverses the whip, drop kicks him into the corner, and he keeps the distance. Does a low bridge on the big man, lands a drop kick to keep him on the floor, and then hits him with a tope con giro, with a tornado DDT. But
That was cool,
Keanu
by the
keeps.
way. That was cool.
Listen, that's what Eli can do. He's a high flying genius, and I have seen that high flying shit in person, and it is
You mean
beautiful.
EK Prospector, but yeah, go ahead.
I'm not calling him that.
Okay, but I am. So just like Bailey
You can
Humphries
call
is
him that.
Bailey Humphries and not
I refuse
Micah.
to.
Yeah. All right.
I don't correct you when you call her Bailey. So,
Mm.
but anyways, he hits him with the frog splash and gets a 2 count. And then we see Keanu grinding down on Eli with the chicken wing chin lock, and of course he fights out. And
That
it's
was
just a
nasty, by the
crazy
way,
fun
man. That
match.
was a nasty move by Carver, man.
And then
That
at
was
some
crazy.
point during the match, Keanu drops Eli face first across the announce desk. But Tank comes in and throws Keanu through the LED barricades while the referee
Dun,
is
dun,
checking on Eli.
dun.
The ref turns around and Tank is like, I don't know what happened, looking like the emoji.
He doesn't know what happened when he did it. That's what's funny.
And then we get the ref doing the 10 counts. And Keanu
Yeah.
beats the 10 counts, but runs into a Busai Kuni Eli jumps off the top with a diving moonsault and wins the match.
Yeah, that was cool. That was a good match. The whole thing about Hank jumping in mid match
That
to
was Tank,
screw
not Hank.
Carver. Okay, my bad. I always get them confused because of the names. But
Just look at their hair.
I mix up names. There you go. See, it's official. But no, I thought this was a lot of fun, and honestly, I'm glad that EK Prospector ended up getting the win. I think he's very talented. He's got very high, great future with NXT. Is he champion? Maybe eventually, but right now he needs to get his footing across, and I think he's doing that. And the NXT universe is definitely behind him for sure. So that
Well,
makes
I
it even better.
mean, a lot of the NXT universe are people that live in Orlando. Some of them have
Mhm.
most likely been to a local independent wrestling show and have probably
Right.
seen Eli long before he became a part of reality of wrestling at Booker T's thing.
Okay. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. They're behind him, and honestly, I'm behind him too. I like him. I think
A lot of
he's
the
got the
people that
style. He's got
are
the
in the
look.
audience are those that go all the time. I used to be one of
Oh
them.
yeah, I know. They apparently it's this lottery. You can get selected, but apparently all the same people get selected all the time. I know.
That's
Vince told
because
me, Nico's told me, even our own executive consultant shot to him. He'll be on the more night all the Eat podcast for the first time.
if you sign up for the thing to
He's
get emails for it
okay.
and you
Okay.
send it
Yeah.
in time, then yes, they will pick you. That's why those people, as soon as they get the thing notifying for the emails, they just sign up so they can go. It's free
Yeah,
wrestling.
that's what Vince
Who's
said.
gonna
Yeah,
say no
yeah,
to free
because I
wrestling?
spoke to. Yeah, yeah.
There's a reason why I don't go to the house
That's what
shows for
Vince told
NXT.
me because Vince has done it before, and Chris I know has done it before, and I know Nico always goes, or boy Nico
He
Extra,
goes
he
when he
always
can.
goes. Yeah, so he goes a lot. But no, yeah, yeah, it's cool. If I ever get down there, I told them I definitely want to try and get on the list and go. I heard it's like you have to like take a bus there. They bring you to the parking lot. They take a bus, and then you take the bus
Yes,
over to the performance center. From what I've heard, and then it's like you
yes.
go in through the seats. Yeah.
So
So
you go to the performance center where NXT used to be. You wait in the parking
okay.
lot. You go over there. You give
Mhm,
them your ID. They look for your name,
mhm.
and then
Right.
they give you a wristband so you can get on the bus. They have multiple
Right.
buses that go over there, so everybody gets different colors for whichever bus they go on. You they drive you over there. You go in.
Mhm.
You make sure you don't. If you have some stuff, they'll of course look through it, or they'll scan you, make sure you don't got anything dangerous. You can buy
Of
merch
course.
outside, and you can sit down. You can't eat in there,
Okay.
but they do have water.
Right. Okay. Okay, yeah.
So, anyways,
And it's usually what, about 2 hours? Maybe you're there for three if there's dark matches before. I
usually
know
there
their tape
are dark
evolves
matches.
sometimes, right?
Well, I
Sometimes,
mean,
right?
well, that's a different thing. So,
Okay.
but they used to
Okay.
have stuff for what was it? They had a program beforehand, kind of similar to 205 Live when the main
I think
roster
it
used to
was
do that.
called Level Up, right? Level Up.
Yes,
Is that the one
that's
you're
what it
thinking of?
was.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
used to do dark matches for that for a little bit,
Okay.
which was about maybe 20, 30 minutes. And then they
Okay.
would have NXT.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I remember
So I would
Level
say
Up. I
about
used to
two and a
watch
half,
it.
close to 3 hours.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Now it's probably about two-ish, but that's still not bad. I mean, even Great American Bash was about 2.5 hours, I think. So, but still, though, yeah,
So
it's cool though. I
yeah, it's
definitely want to
definitely
go
fun.
eventually if I ever get down there. So
You got to go at least once. And that's
I
why
want
after
to. I
that,
want to.
you would never see me go to a house show for NXT because why would I go and pay for NXT when I've already gone multiple times for free?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's understandable. That's understandable. Yeah.
So Robert Stone informs Kendal Grey that they'll be booking a four-way number one contenders match for the Women's North American Championship next week. And Natty comes in with her girls and she talks about how her girls are earning things and nobody has earned it more than she has as an underappreciated legend. and demands a title match. Or actually, it should just be a number one NXT Women's Championship match. I don't know why, where I'm reading it says North American. But Kendall says it makes no difference to her, and Robert Stone says Natty makes a good point and she can have a title match next week. And then
Yay! Yay! Yay for the
we get
legend
Carmen and
Natalia
Jada
Neidhart.
making their
Yay!
entrances. So we get Jada Parker versus
Actually,
Carmen
Miss.
Petrovic.
It's Miss Jada Parker.
It's Miss Parker if you're nasty.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
But
Yeah.
I'm not
I
nasty,
wanted to
so
see
I
if
call
you
her
could
Miss
do it. I'm
Jada.
glad you did because I love it when you do that. So I'm glad you do that. Every time, I love it. Uh,
But we had our first women's match of the night, and it was nice to see Carmen back in the ring after a hot minute. Because the last time I
she
remember
was
seeing
hurt,
her in the
right?
ring,
She was
she
hurt
was
for a
hurt for
while,
a
right?
while. Then she went down to AAA to be part of El
Okay.
Perro de Mal,
Okay.
along with Bronco Nemo and a couple other people.
Okay.
But we get them starting off. They're fighting. Uh, we get Natty coming into the. She's in the match, like she's outside, and you see Carmen going down to the floor at some point to get a pep talk, and Jada's like telling her to get her ass back in the ring, and Natty is
Yeah.
talking trash and trips up Jada, stomps on her, gets her back in, punches her, sliding knee, mocks the high steps, and you see Jada just getting mad and start unloading on the poor girl.
Oh, it was crazy.
And
Yeah.
the soul food connects, which if you know, you know. And Jada kicked right out and
Yeah.
gets a ring of Saturn, but she's too close to the ropes, and Carmen breaks the 3 count and gets a little baseball slide, knocking her out. Nikita grabs Jada. Natty lands a cheap shot while Carmen's keeping the ref distracted, which means Jada does a tweener. Carmen's basically I think they're both tweeners because we're not really
Mm.
establishing who's a face and who's a heel here.
Really? I thought Carmen was a heel because she's with Natty and Natty's all like heels. No? I thought that was the whole
Well, I
thing.
mean,
Okay.
I'm just saying tweener because why not? I feel like a
I
lot of
mean, they
people
were
are
cheering
being more
for her during this match. It was back and forth. I mean, it was more for Jada, obviously,
exactly.
but
Well,
it was
everybody in
back
the
and forth. I
NXT
do
universe
agree.
loves Miss Parker, so.
Oh no, yeah, she's so over. It's crazy.
But shrugged off a German suplex attempt, lands a boots, lariats, gourd buster, gets off the ropes, gets a hypnotic attack, and pins her with the deja vu.
Yeah, this was fun, man. All this was fun. The Natty getting involved, and it's great. To, like you said, it's great to see Karen Petrov back finally after the injury. I didn't know she went down to Triple. I don't watch AAA all the
I
time. It's
mean,
not like but I do
I
watch it
didn't either, but I did
roughly.
see pictures online.
No, okay. But like I said, I don't watch it all the time, but I do watch it. And I'm watching it more because of just Dr. Wagner Jr., one of the greatest of all time. And Lucha Libres of all time. But no, yeah, this match was a lot of fun. I love when Miss Jada Parker comes out. She's just so great. She's just so over. She just gets the crowd. Like this crowd was so dead before it, and then this match just kind of hyped up the whole thing. Like this should have been the main event, honestly, because I really felt like these two girls killed it. But and the whole thing with her and Natty, and I feel like that's not over yet. I know Natty's getting a shot at Kendall next week. I know, but
It's a
I
side
feel
quest.
like maybe you know. Jada interferes or something,
Oh,
and
of course
then
she's gonna
Kendall will
interfere.
retain, or that like I don't think Jada and Natty are over yet. I think tonight just shows that. And I'm excited to see where the feud can go because if they do another match, a heat wave, they can make the stipulation match, and that could be really fun and really cool to see. So I'd be down for something like that, like a last man standing or something. Women standing,
So
but well,
here's how next week's match is going to go.
go
Kendall
ahead.
and Natty will have their match going back and forth, and Natty will put Kendall over in her own way. Jada's going to come out at some point to interfere. Of course, Natty's going to be there with the Evolve Women's Champion, Nikita, and Carmen, who are going to try to make sure to do their absolute best to stop Jada from interfering. However, they're going to fumble, or one of them might hit the other by accident and try to fix it, and Jada will still interfere, get one over on Natty. Kendall will retain her title, and then they'll be fighting after the match is over. They'll probably be brawling to the back, and Robert Stone will have no choice but to give them a match in the future, most likely at Heatwave, and we'll probably have to give them a stipulation of some sort, whether it's a last man, a street fight, in a steel cage, or a cage match with weapons all
Or I
over.
quit, or an I quit match could be an I
No,
quit
we're not
match
doing an
too.
I quit match. No, 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 no. We're not going to have Jada Parker say the words I quit, and we are most definitely not having 99 Heart say the words I quit.
So maybe a street fight then. I know that. I know
Yes.
NXT. Their street fights.
Something that does not involve either woman quitting.
Okay.
Because with all these firings that happen, too many women get let go, and we don't need that.
Right.
Especially not with someone who molds the women of tomorrow in wrestling in the dungeon.
Right, right. No, I would love to see that because this proves to me, wrestling all that hi Joe, good to see you. Jeffrey, we'll see you on the chat too. You know, Jeffrey, I know AAA comes on Saturday nights, but I'm usually busy watching Collision. Anyway, like I said, I did like this. I want to see where this goes. I just know for a fact, wrestling doll, that this is not over. Jada and Natty, it feels like it's just beginning all over again, and I really love it because it's like it's really another good story they have going right now. It feels like it's one of the best. At least I'm interested in it. So like instead of those as you call it, those blonde, whatever those called, bimbo dumbos, whatever you want to call them. I don't care for them. They're boring, but this actually has my
They're
attention. To
himbos.
be honest with you, so. Yeah,
with swipe right, they're himbos because they're male bimbos. They're himbos.
Right. Like what you said. I'll go with that. Himbos indeed. But this has my attention. Jada and Natty have my attention for sure. Yeah. And honestly, I have to say real quick before we move on, it was really smart in them to move Natty down to NXT. I was like, oh no, they're moving her down. It's not going to work. It's actually working quite well. And I'm honestly, I have to say, I'm a little surprised on how well she's working and how well it's working out for her. So, yeah.
I mean, it's not surprising when that happens sometimes. Did we forget about Mandy Rose?
Yes, and then they fired her ass, and it was the biggest mistake they ever made. But
No,
she's
no, no,
making
no,
more
no.
money now without them. So
No. It wasn't the biggest mistake because then we got a young talent who's discovered how good of a heel she can be and is now on the main roster in a faction that is soon to be crumbling and falling apart and breaking up somewhat at the seams. Because at some point in the future, that girl is going to realize that Finn Balor was right all along. She's going to tag internal Liv Morgan and she's going to join Finn Balor and try to take down Judgment Day one by one.
talk about Roxanne, right? Yeah.
Who else would I be talking about?
I don't know. I think Raquel Rodriguez is still with Judgment Day, so yeah, I think it's Roxanne.
Raquel Rodriguez is glued to Liv Morgan's ass. She's not going to quit anytime soon. Liv is literally her longest tag team partner. That woman has been tag champion 5 times with 4 different women because she's been tag champs with Liv Morgan twice.
Oh wow, I didn't even notice that. Wow,
she was tag champs with Dakota Kai. She was tag champs with Aaliyah and with Liv Morgan.
And they're not even in the company anymore. That's what's crazy. Yeah, that's wild. But yeah, Roxanne, is definitely gonna probably leave the Judgment Day soon. I see.
Did anybody know that it's been a year since she's been part of Judgment Day?
Yeah, I see that happening. But I love this story. They're going back to Jade and Natty. It's just it's working out so well, and I'm happy for both of them. Happy that Natty's getting this, and she's giving Jada the rub that Jada kind of. I mean, Jada doesn't really need the rub, but she's getting it, and honestly, it's gonna make her even more of a star when she gets called up, which I think she will. I think Jada will get called up eventually. There's already talks about her getting called up after SummerSlam, so we'll see.
So afterwards, we get Shiloh Hill, who is playing with Tatum's hair backstage. She's bummed
Actually,
about
Mr.
how
NXT Shiloh Hill, not to Mr. NXT. He's my boy, so I have to make sure
so she's
say that.
bummed about how Great American Bash went, but she's going to get her title back, and she's happy that Shiloh had a good night, and she saw him go to a new place. He said the trick is mostly being able to hide, and on LFG, he went out there too much and got his tooth knocked out. Tatum is happy that the fun side of him is back. He wishes her luck, and she says, I'm not going to need it. Kaylani is. Nico comes in and says the calling was right to get rid of dead weight, calling Tatum dead weight, and now calling Sean Spears dead weight, and they're a lot stronger now. Shiloh tells him not to talk about Tatum like that, and Nico tells him to keep smiling. Like, boy, y'all are stronger than ever. Y'all lost the only person who can talk and give good promos in y'all's faction. You barely talk, and Izzy can't cut a promo worth a damn. Y'all just look like a generic creator wrestler for a mixed tag match. That's what y'all
It's
look like.
funny.
So
It's
the fact
funny.
that y'all think you're stronger than ever as a duo than y'all were as a faction, getting rid of the one person that could talk well for y'all and could mentor and teach y'all is very disappointing. I mean, if y'all could cut a good promo and can entertain people, then yes, I would think so. But you can't. Izzy was boring as North American champion, so no,
Is
you're
by
not.
the way, still is. Fun fact: she still is boring. She's pretty, but she's boring. Like I said, the look of a champion, not a champion. There's a difference.
So, anyways, Dorian
Mm.
finally gets a text from Sean Legacy. And Sean tells him, if we're going to be a tag team, we got to be on the same page. And it was embarrassing to go talk to Robert about getting a title opportunity without you behind me. And he says, it'll never happen again. But that Sean did get us a number one contenders 4-way tag match next week. And they're talking excitedly and they're like high fiving or doing some stuff with their hands. I don't know.
Right, right.
So Ren and Miles are chatting backstage. They congratulate each other about their wins. Tavion comes in. Ren makes an excuse to leave. Miles says they've had a hella match. And Tavion is excited that Tank is going to bat for Hank against Keanu, and he's into that ride or die friendship. And Miles says, I was trying to tell you that this entire time. And he walks off being frustrated, and he leaves Tavion frustrated behind him. And it's like,
Mm.
dude, that's exactly what he was trying to tell you. You were just mad and you were just like brushing it off because all you saw was your friend being champion and you supposedly not getting any vibes that he was still your friend when he was doing nothing but trying to help you.
Right, right. No, I loved this segment because it featured our boy Young Randy, and Young Randy is great. And yeah, it just the beginning of the show, wrestling, it proves that friends can be champions and be friends. Kendall and Ren St. Clair. Now look, they're both champions. I know, whatever, but you still could be the same, thing. And honestly, young Randy makes a good point here that look at their friendship and look at other others in the in NXT that are friends and champions. But like you said, Hank and Tank, it's just it does just show that Tavion was just kind of just I don't know just how can I say this just a bag of sour grapes about the whole situation. And he should have been a little more supportive. But everybody's after gold too. That's the other issue. Everybody only cares about the shiny belts, and they don't care about the friendship sometimes. But both these guys, but yeah, Miles makes a good point. See, I can call him Miles. I agree, Jeffrey. Being jealous is a great word for it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, they always say
But at the
jealousy is
end
an
of the
ugly
day,
thing.
though, Soul and Zarya still hugged at the end of their match. You knew what was going to happen, but they still hugged each other, and then they finished, one another off. You knew it was going to happen, and now look, she's, on the main roster as champion. So, I mean, it just shows you, yeah, they can be friends. I think Kendall and Brenner are the perfect example of that.
Indeed, they proved everybody wrong who said, "Oh, y'all's friendship's gonna fall apart once one of you gets a title and tries to go after it." Now they both belt. Now they're both belt
And
holders.
now they're shoving cake in their faces. That's what I thought was great. And we said that at the beginning they were, eating the cake. I thought it was funny, but yeah.
And speaking of those
Uh,
that hold championships, we have Tony D in the ring. He says, "When you use something every day, you take it for granted." And he talks about all the things he enjoyed doing with his right eye. Last week, he was sitting in an ambulance, burned and scarred and scared,
crazy.
worried that he'd never see out of his right eye again. What people don't know is all the waivers he had to sign just to make sure he could compete. The last document in that stack, he paused before he signed it, asking himself if he was willing to risk his health to defend his title. He sat there and he said to himself, "You're damn right I am," and showed up to Great American Bash with a purpose, ready for war. Sunday was the definition of blind rage. Well, in this case, half blind rage, because he speared Naraku in the first 10 seconds and didn't let the man up. And he is done with him now, and his eye is going to make a full recovery and has a message for the next challenger. "I am the master of my fate, the captain of my soul. You've seen what I'll do to defend my title. So what do you think you gonna take from me? I don't think there's a man in the back who's willing to swim in deep waters to take this from him." He leaves and Kendall makes her entrance and they fist bump on the ramp. He goes back. Naraku comes in behind him, beats him with the steel chair, throws the chair, then the champion in the ring hits him with an STO onto the chair. Refs come in to check on Tony. The bandage falls off and we see his bloodied face.
That was crazy.
And then we see footage of Naraku spitting poison mist in his face before taking him back out to the ramp.
That was even more crazy. Red mist. I mean, that's just wild, man. So it just reminded me of Oscar vibes, like so much, because that's her whole thing with the green mist. It's just,
They
man, it's
probably were
so
notorious for
cool.
doing that over in Japan. I'm just going to say that.
Okay, all right,
That's my
yeah,
assumption.
that sounds
I
about
didn't
right.
watch her stuff in Stardom and I didn't watch her stuff in New Japan, so I can't say
Uh,
for certain. If anybody can confirm it, please write it down. If not,
right,
we'll look into
yeah.
it.
I mean, I know he's done it a few times. Jeffrey said in the chat, Shinsuke also has done that too. But
Might be a
yeah, these
Japanese thing.
guys ain't over. By a long shot, man. And honestly, I don't know, ambulance match on the table, maybe. I mean, kind of where I'm thinking, heat wave ambulance match. Is that where we're going with this? I mean, that's an. I hope
Are
they
they
aren't
really
going to
going to
do a
try
fire
to?
match. I know they've done that, the fire matches, but I do hope they stay away from fire. I really do.
You
I
mean
don't
the
like.
Inferno matches where they would
Yeah, yeah,
light the ring
yeah,
up and if it got
yeah,
too hot, they would fall on it and like basically scar
yeah,
themselves a little bit and burn themselves?
yeah.
Why on earth would they
Yeah,
bring
Mick
that back?
Foley has a lot of stories about that. Mick Foley and Edge have a lot of stories about that, or Copeland, whatever that you want to call him now. I don't know. He always changes his name every couple of years. Edge, but he's always Edge to me. Anyway, these guys, man, this ain't over. I'm thinking possibly ambulance match. Let's book it. Heat wave. Let's do it. Let's run it. Let's go. That's how I feel. That
So,
just how
Maurice,
I
you
would go.
think Tony D is gonna pull up in an Inuyasha fit and clap back? I don't know if Tony D is the kind to dress up in that particular style of
No,
clothing, considering what the
no,
character Inuyasha wears. But if he
yeah,
does, props to him.
yeah. I don't think that neither, Maurice. But that would be cool. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't see the character Tony D'Angelo being a cosplay type. Like Tana Paxley, she's known for that. Like you said, she's known for
I
her
mean, I
cosplay
don't think he's gonna
outfits.
come out in gear that's gonna look like that. So,
No, no, no. Like I said, Tatum Paxley, is known for that kind of stuff. She's known for the cosplay in ring gear. So
I mean, the Naraku on TV we see could possibly, I could see him doing this because this is the actual Naraku from Inuyasha.
right, right. I remember you saying that. Yes, yes, yes.
So I could
That's
see Naraku
possible.
on NXT
I
referencing him at
don't
some
see him
point in the
doing that
gear.
neither, though. No, I don't see these guys being
I said
like I get
reference, not
Tatum
fully dress up.
Paxley, but maybe they could do like the purple and the thing, but they could do kind of something like
I
that. But
mean,
yeah,
like a reference to it.
like I said, like the purple, so yeah, yeah.
So, anyways, the time has come for the main event of the evening. Girl Power
Oh wow.
in Kaylani Jordan versus Tatum Paxley, with Kendal Grey joining commentary.
Mm.
And it is basically a battle of the weirdo versus, how do I say this nicely without sounding possibly offensive or stereotypical? Like the angry black
Mm.
woman trying to get on top.
Mm.
It
Okay.
kind of feels like we're watching
Um.
Bring It On, but instead of the rival cheerleader being the blonde one, you get it being the gothic weirdo as the head cheerleader versus the other cheer captain who is the black girl. But
Mm.
this was a solid match all around. I
Right.
enjoyed watching not Kendall, Kehlani and Tatum do their thing, as well as seeing Kendall watching, giving her input, her 2 cents on everything. And everybody knows that I enjoy watching Tatum. And as it went on, it was very well. But unfortunately, Tatum wasn't able to do the cemetery drive on her. But Kaylani does hit her with the split-legged moonsault that shows that nobody does it like Lonnie. And afterwards,
Mm.
someone jumps Tatum Paxley.
Dun dun
Vic Joseph
dun.
says, we all know who she is. And she tries to go for a backbreaker, but her ankle gives out. And she gets on her feet and commentary continues to say, we know who she is, without saying who she is. At some point, we had Callie come in and attack Kendall because
Oh yeah,
Robert
that's
Stone
right.
said
That happened.
actions speak louder
Uh,
than words. But guess what, girl? That is not what he meant. So guess what? That means you're gonna have even less of a chance to get a title shot. So you done messed up, girl. Should have
I
used your
don't.
smart girl brain. First ever
That's
inaugural
the
Vault
thing.
champion.
Wrestling doll.
And
That's
that's
the
how the show
thing. I
ended.
want to jump in here. Right. Thanks. But it's the thing. I gotta say this. Sometimes heels get rewarded too much. Liv Morgan messed up a lot, and she got an opportunity at the Queen of the Ring finals. I mean, yeah, she lost and got cursed by Danhausen, but we talked about that before the show, obviously. But heels get rewarded too much if you force your way into the picture. And I think that's what's going to happen with this. Maybe I'm wrong.
Listen, I had this discussion with someone while we were watching Night of Champions. The
Mm-hmm.
fact that Liv Morgan was even allowed to be a part of this Queen of the Ring tournament
Mm-hmm.
was blasphemy, baloney, balarmy, all kinds of things. What If I had even said, what happened to the good old days, like in the Royal Rumble when the champion could not enter? Now you just let champions
Right.
do whatever they want willy nilly. Putting in the
Correct.
women's IC champion holder as well as the women's US champion, that's fine because those are mid card titles. They're not the main titles.
Right. Right.
But putting in the women's champion because y'all can't book
Oh,
her the way that
champion.
y'all
Yeah.
want to because Stephanie is
Yeah.
injured is
Right.
absolutely ridiculous. Y'all were not. There was no way in hell y'all were gonna give us Liv versus Raquel or Liv
Right.
versus Roxanne for the title at SummerSlam. We weren't gonna get that. It was just gonna be 10, 20 minutes of them being chicken shits, avoiding wrestling somewhat, and then wrestling for a little bit. That's what I felt that would have been.
Right. Right. No.
So it
Yeah.
could have been
I
anyone
just.
else, and also,
Right.
and I'm not done because this involves King of the Ring too. The
Oh
point
yeah.
of these
Yeah. Yeah.
tournaments is for people that don't get the spotlight on them more to have a chance to get more of attention on
Ah,
them as well as showing the people what they have to offer. It does not mean put in everybody's favorites. Somebody like Chelsea Green could have had fun with it and have been Queen Chelsea of the ring. That could have been fun, although I am happy for Io. We could have had maybe Julia advancing because her booking as women's US champion was god awful because for some reason they don't know how to book some of their Japanese talents as well as far
right.
as their main
Right.
roster stuff for some reason.
Mm,
Like with
mm,
Asuka, dominant as hell in NXT. Main roster, you bring her in, you'll have her lose to Charlotte Flair, which did not need to happen.
mm. Yeah, but then Oscar became like one of the goats. I mean, hell, she became like one of the greats later on. Won Money in the Bank, tag teams, Kabuki Warriors. I
Listen,
think
she
what 3 or
can
4
be. I'm just
times.
talking about
Won both women's champions. I think. Yeah. She a Grand Slam? No, she's not a Grand Slam. She's close to being one though. I don't know. No, she hasn't. Never
technically
holding
to
the
be
women's
Grand
IC title.
Slam, aren't you supposed to have the main title, two mid card titles, and a tag
Yeah,
championship?
yeah. I know she's
Because
got the
they've
two main
established the
titles.
because they
Yeah.
established the women's mid card titles later on, those aren't going to count for those that have won before.
Okay. Alright, so she might be one, honestly, because I know
At
she
this
won the
point, she probably
NXT.
is
Yeah, I mean,
because she's
goddamn,
won
she's
titles on
she's
both
she's
brands
great.
before they changed it and has been tag champ.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
technically,
Right,
she would
right.
be.
No,
But
yeah, but
they only count the men as Grand Slam champions. They don't count the
right,
women,
right.
which is
That
an
that I'm aware of.
abomination.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. But honestly, Asuka definitely is one of my favorites. But going back to this whole match, this whole thing, I'm excited to see where everything goes. But I have to see what's up with Tatum's injury, and I have to figure out who the hell this new girl is because she looks very familiar, and I honestly don't know who she was. At the end of the show, so I believe she was someone from LG. Jeffrey, if you're still in the chat, let me know if she was from LG because I think she was, but I don't know who. But no, yeah, that was the show, and honestly, I liked it a lot tonight. I thought it was a pretty fun show. I just hope Tatum's injury isn't severe because she went through hell on Sunday. I watched the match; it was great. The girl at the end who destroyed Tatum, Jeffrey. I don't know her name. And I don't think they said it neither.
That was the
But
point.
no, yeah, no, I know. But I know she looked familiar though. And like I said, I really want to see if she's okay with so they can do this feud. And then they have the other feuds too going on. So but is that who it is? Nikki? Okay. It says she's not from LG. Okay, her name is Nikki apparently. Wrestling dog.
Well, that narrows it down.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Um Is it Nikki Blackheart? I think I've heard that name before. I think.
If
I
it was
think.
a brunette that looked very muscular and similar to Paige, then yes.
Yeah, it might have been. I don't know. I gotta. Now it makes me want to, after we get off, go back and replay it on my DVR box to see. Um. Jeffrey, let me know if it was her. Yeah, Jeffrey's saying that was Nikki Blackheart, but she's gonna go
Oh, they
by
just put it up.
Nicole.
Yes, it is. That is the soon-to-be Nicole Martinez on NXT, but formerly known
Oh
as Miss Nikki
shit!
Blackheart in the indie scene. So
Wow.
I know what shirt I'm wearing
Oh
next
shit!
week.
No way. I knew she
That's
looked
my
familiar.
girl.
I'm like, what? She looked familiar. It was fuck. It was killing me, man. It was killing me. No
I was waiting
way.
for the
That,
clip so we could see, but for some reason it took
yeah.
forever.
Yeah. Wow. Oh my god. Wow. That's crazy. That is awesome. Wow. I'm looking up here on Twitter right here that everyone's talking about it. Holy shit. So apparently she signed, I guess. It says it right here.
Yeah,
Nikki
she
Blackheart
was
is
signed a while back.
NXT. Okay, all right. Wow. I knew she looked familiar. I'm like, why does she look familiar? Why do I know her? Yeah, okay, all right. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Um, yeah. Oh my
She is
god.
also a
Yeah, I'm
powerhouse type
watching.
wrestler, so
Oh my god, it makes that makes so much more fucking sense now. Oh my god, wow, okay, wow, yeah. I'm like, why does she like? I'm like, I know her. Now I said even before the show, why does she look familiar? And oh my god, wow, that is so cool. Wow, okay, so she's gonna go, and I guess she's going after Tatum Paxley. I guess. Holy crap, wow, Wow. I'm sorry. I'm just shocked on air. It's just like I even I'm supposed to be the news guy. I'm supposed to know all this, and even I got caught off guard by her debut tonight. Wow. Um. Damn, that was cool. Okay. Yeah.
she had a couple
All
dark
right.
matches, so now she's here.
Yeah, and she's gonna run through the roster. How about it, man? Holy hell! It's
Listen,
gonna
when
be.
she was with the company that she was with before she got signed, she was made women's champion within the
Yeah.
year since
Right.
wrestling with them.
Mhm.
So we'll see what
No,
NXT will do for her.
No, I've seen some of her stuff on YouTube. She's very
27
talented.
included.
Yeah. Yes. I do know you have a few Nikki Blackheart matches on your YouTube. I have seen. Yeah. Guilty as charged for watching your stuff. I always do. But yeah. It's just I'm happy. I was like, why? And I said to you before the show, I said, why does she look familiar? And you're like, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, I go on, and that was Nikki freaking Blackheart.
I
Man,
just
holy
had to
shit!
think
I'm
about it
just,
for a second.
yeah,
I'm
no,
sorry it took so long,
no.
Nikki. I love you.
Yeah, I'm excited now. Now it's got my attention even more. I agree, Jeffrey. I'm excited to see what they do with her. Yeah. I have to say, I do have some stories, some big stories I'm gonna run. So, after we get into these comments here, yeah, and
She didn't have to,
yeah,
but
yeah,
this is somewhat how she started in the other company. So
right,
when
okay,
someone else over there was champion, she was kind of there to be like a bodyguard of sorts or someone that would help attack or interfere and such. And over time, she was being used and abused, and she turned and she was like, I'm done with this, and then became one
mhm,
of the biggest baby
mhm,
faces, and then they made her champion. So
right.
I think it's going to be very similar in that sense where they're going to start off being a dominant heel type character for her over there.
So
So
was
some of those girls
she?
better be careful.
I know. I guess that I don't know much about her. Besides, I know she was part
The
of
first Dominican signed talent.
that. I know. That I know. I'm actually on her Wikipedia. Their finishing move is called the Black Heart Bomb, and her signature move is the Gorilla Press. And she also has the elbow drop, the Artina backbreaker rack, and she has some sort of also the sit out power bomb she uses. I believe the company you were
They don't
referenced
really
to was
like some.
Coastal
They don't really.
Champion.
Yes, but I have
Yeah,
heard from someone who has told me that apparently they don't like people that was working with them talking about them working with them. So I don't
Okay.
know if that's true or not. So
Right.
if anybody that works with that company is watching it, do not bite my head off because I don't know if it's true
Right.
or
Right.
not.
Right. Right. The
Y'all know I
only
love
two
y'all, but I will
Mhm.
speak my truth. Just like
Right.
if
The
I
only
were
one.
to, I don't know, work with someone who y'all might not like, it's my choice on who I work with in terms of maybe working on a podcast or working with them at a show or whatever.
Mhm.
Y'all's
Right.
beef has
Right.
nothing to do with me.
No, yeah, I agree. I agree. Wrestling though. Like I said, she was the women's CCW Women's Champion, Coastal Championship Wrestling, and she was also
Yep.
the Metroplex Wrestling Champion once as well. So women's champion. So that's her accolades here, according to her wrestling Wikipedia page, which they already have it up here. So that's kind of wild. Wow, she made her debut. That's crazy. Okay. All right, let's get into my intro and let's get out of here. It's getting kind of late. I gotta run this. Let me see if I can find this. We're always having these difficulties here. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, what's up?
I really have to change that when I get a chance. I don't say that anymore because I'm always on the air. Anyway, we got some big news this week. One of the biggest guys in AEW is leaving AEW wrestling, though. Do you know who it is?
Is it Jack Perry?
No. No. I wish, by the way. Don't you think I would love for Jack Perry to go to WWE and just dominate in the mid card scene? No, no. Only in my GM mode, my dear. Only in my GM mode. Jeffrey got it right. It is Big Bill. It's Big Cass. He's being
Well,
talked
when was
about
the last
coming
time they
back.
used him?
I don't know. Do I care?
That's my
No. All
point.
I know is he wants to. I know he wants to come back to NXT, and I am
You worry
so
about some people
excited.
going up to the main roster and getting lost in the mix? Tony Khan has some people in there for ages and doesn't know what to do with some of them because he has too many people. And they focus on certain people for so long. It's like there's some in the back in catering being like, I still work here. Do I still have my job?
Yeah,
Or am I going to have to go to
yeah,
like ROH or TNA or MLW or GCW
right.
that travels all over the world? Where do I go now? Or do I go to
Yeah,
HOG? Where do you want me to go? Or
yeah, no,
CMLL or AAA?
and that's the issue. Wrestling doll, I do agree, and that's why he
When you have
wants
too
to
much
leave.
talent and don't know what to do with it all, somebody's going to leave.
I'm really excited because if it works out from the sources say he might be, coming back and might be getting involved to NXT. Now, the other side to this story, this is what makes this even more exciting, is Enzo, his former tag team partner, also might be making a return to NXT slash WWE.
He is.
Apparently
Even
yeah.
after
They're
all the
they're in
BS he's
talks.
done in there, that I'm surprised by.
Um, Apparently he's got a new documentary about how he clears his name and all this shit supposedly. So yes, it looks like we might be getting a reunion of them
Let's just hope
possibly.
that whatever
Um,
documentary he puts out works out in his favor to where he
mhm,
doesn't sue the creators of the documentary for defamation and editing, like Tyra Banks did with the Netflix
mhm.
documentary.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Um.
If you
Yeah.
don't
For
want them to edit the
sure.
stuff you say, don't say stupid stuff.
Um. Yeah. I don't know where Britt
And
Baker
where's
is
Britt
yet.
Baker
I
for
have
the
no
life of
clue.
her?
There's no news. I have no idea. She's still
Does
she's
anybody
still with
remember what
AEW. That's
happened?
all I know.
Listen, I'm
Uh,
just going to say this. Does anybody remember
uh,
what happened with Britney Spears? How she was stuck in
yeah.
the conservatorship for years because of her father? That's what's
Mhm.
happening with Britt Baker. Except she can't go nowhere and she don't want to go nowhere in terms of wrestling. Hell, she can't even work
Apparently,
in her dentist office because people keep coming in for other things besides getting their teeth done.
I mean, they're paying her big money though to stay there. That's what's crazy. It's just like it's nuts how much money
It's
they're
the
paying.
same thing they did to Paige for a hot minute before she came back. They just
And the same
had her
thing
in
they
the
did
back
to
and
the
did absolutely
NWO, by the
nothing.
way. They just sat home, collected checks during the WCW days. I don't know if you know this. They just Hulk Hogan and Nash and Hall and them. They just sat the hell home and just collected the check.
Well, that's different.
Yeah,
The
during the
men
WCW
didn't
days.
have as many difficulties in wrestling as the women did, and
That's
still do.
true. That's true. That's true, but and they did do that with Paige. Paige is still getting a big paycheck from AEW. She was bankrupt to them, and then she went back to WWE, screwed them over, became tag champions again, and I'm excited to see what they do with her now. But so that's one of the things. The other big rumor of another one leaving, heading for WWE. You're gonna love this one, wrestling doll. Mike Santana might be another one leaving. TNA to go to WWE. He's been on WWE's radar for quite some time now. They've been wanting him. They've used him a couple of times
Well,
in
I mean,
NXT, but they want him. They want Santana. They want Mike Santana. So
he did
I want.
recently lose the belt to Nick Nemeth, so it could
Did
happen.
he did. I saw that. I did see that actually. I was surprised.
And
I was like,
TNA's coming to Tampa in October, so I plan on going.
there you go. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool.
Good, and
AEW
that way I can wear
filed
my
for.
Case Navarro shirt and be a mark and not be ashamed.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. AEW filed for a new trademark called Death Store. I don't know what that's gonna be about, but that is something there. And the other thing I have here was the whole thing with Brock Lesnar and Oba. Apparently, this was always the plan. I don't know the whole Brock retirement thing. It's the last thing I have here. Was apparently they are saying that was always the plan. The sources are saying that this match at SummerSlam was always the plan, even though that Brock retired and didn't retire. I don't know. I spoke to our own Famous Vincent about it on the SmackDown show that I used to host that. He said maybe it has something to do with Brock, the contract, with something. There may be WWE's holding something over Brock. I don't know. But I know for a fact that this was a long time coming, the match between Oba and Brock at SummerSlam. So might be Brock's last official match, apparently, is what they're also saying. But we'll see. So yeah, Jeffrey. Yes, they did mention Death Door during the cage match. Yes, I'm wondering if that's going to be a new faction or if that's going to be a new pay per view. That's what I'm very interested to see, Jeffrey. Yes, and that's all I got. Wrestling doll for the week. It was a pretty heavy news week this week because a lot of people leaving after a big pay per view. There was a lot of stuff, so I'm very excited to see it. All right.
Oh, and there's something else that I saw. Apparently,
Oh yeah.
Nikki Bella got her leg brace off today.
Is that right? Good for her. You know that might be why they lost those titles. That could be why. That could be why.
When
I
who
don't
lost
know.
the titles?
Did Paige and Brie Bella lose the titles like 2 weeks ago?
No,
I mean, I'm pretty sure, right? Oh, they didn't? I thought they did. No. Okay.
no. The last time I saw them defend the titles, they won, and Lyra turned her back on Bailey.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, that's right. Feathers ended up. That's right. Feathers ended up turning on Bailey. That's right. Never mind. Yeah, no. All right, so they're just waiting for Nikki to come back, basically, and then I guess Paige will go into the singles competition, right? I guess that's what they're gonna do.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I guess we will. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the show. Before we get out of here, we have something for everybody on Unpopular Review Wrestling. I'm gonna run down the shows, and then afterwards, Wrestling Doll, you can plug your channel after. But let me run down the shows real quick. First, we have the Rated R Review Show or the Raw Review Show. I don't know what they're calling themselves anymore. Very confusing. But usually it was last night around 9 o'clock. But usually after 10:45 Monday nights, you catch Z, Cactus Katie, and Stephen Willie Beeman. I think Jeffrey filled in last night for them. That was a great show. The three of them. It was Z, it was Jeffrey, it was Willie. It was a lot of fun. I was in the chat. It was a lot of fun. Then on Tuesday nights, you want to do it, Wrestling Doll, or you want me to do it? Do you want me to say it, or do you want to do it?
You can see our lovely faces discuss all things NXT right after it gets off the air, with some mentions of whatever people may be referencing here and there in their gear, whether it is anime, cartoons, TV shows, or other wrestlers like Kendal Grey did in Great American Bash, where she referenced Kurt Angle.
I saw
You
that.
never know.
I saw that. I saw that. I saw that this morning when I watched it. So cool. So cool. On Wednesday nights. And also I'm featured on the NXT review show too. The great Mad Dog. The news guy. Anyway, on Wednesday nights, it's All the Eat podcast with oh gosh, I gotta get this right, with the sheriff, and then we have Bobby Steele, that's his new nickname. And we are finally joining this week, or joining tomorrow, the executive consultant, ladies and gentlemen, will be back on the channel, joining the All Elite Heat crew. I am very excited and looking forward
He's
to
willingly
that
going to go
review
on the
tomorrow night.
AEW brand and talk about it. That's a shocker.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am super stoked for that. And then I believe either Friday or Saturday, SmackDown Showdown with Dennis Vincent and Jeffrey. I'm not sure when. I think they're gonna be moving back to Friday nights. I gotta talk to the guys. I know it's been on Saturdays the last couple of weekends, but we'll see. And I'll keep you posted there. We got some stuff over on the entertainment channel. Make sure you check that out. I do want to give a quick shout out to our own Great Grand Slam Pooba and his podcast, the Big Pop Harry podcast. I always say it wrong. He's gonna kill me, but that's okay. They just did a Night of Champions prediction show. I actually ended up watching it on the way home from Godsmack, which is hilarious because it was actually after, but I still ended up watching it anyway. So please go check him out as well. And then Wrestling Doll, you have a channel that actually featured the Nikki Blackheart who debuted tonight. So please tell us about that.
Yes. So you can follow me on my YouTube channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman, where I go throughout Central Florida and occasionally South to record all things independent wrestling and put it up on the interwebs for the world to see, where you can see current and or former people that have been on your TVs, whether it was for WWE, AEW, NWA, MLW, TNA, anywhere that you've watched wrestling. I don't have everything, but I have enough.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that they're all over. Like you have matches of all these guys who are now, and girls, and women too, and they're on NXT now, and they're on AEW now, and they're winning champions in TNA now. It's crazy, guys. So make sure you check that out. We will be back next week to review the show. I'm excited for next week's show. What about you, Wrestling Doll? I'm very excited for next week's show.
Always.
All right, guys. That is all. We will be back next week. And we are signing off. See you next week. Bye, guys.